What is up, you guys? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, I'm gonna wait for a few minutes, let people start coming in. We're also waiting for Lucy to join us. So, welcome, guys. Just a few things from the thumbnail. You kind of have an idea what we're going to be talking about. We're talking about the Falynn interview and also a little bit about Real Housewives of Atlanta. What is up for the season? Yeah, and please be sure if you have not started following us on all of our social media, you can do that certainly as of now. It's Sisters Talk TV, and we want to thank everyone for getting us to 1,000 subscribers. We finally hit the goal. So thank you guys so much. We have a few things in store, so please look out for that. So we may be doing a little giveaway. So please, just because of our 1K, because we are just so appreciative of your support. So we will be having a giveaway. So just be on the lookout for that. So we're going to be waiting for a few minutes. Hey, Lucy.
Hey.
What is going on?
Good. How are you? How's been your day?
It's been good. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. I just ran into a few things with technology, of course, but I am okay and I'm good to go.
Yeah, I was just updating, I was just saying that we will be having a few things in store, like having a little giveaway for all the support, for hitting 1K subscribers. So we'll be doing a little giveaway.
Yay! I'm so excited about that. Like, we really, without our supporters and subscribers, of course, we would not have made it to 1,000. We reached our goal, and we are really grateful for subscribers, and thank you so much for your continued support. I really appreciate it.
Yep, that is right. We really appreciate it. So what's on the schedule for today?
So, of course, we are talking about the Simon interview, the Falynn Guobadia'ss interview with, of course, up in with Adam that she did last week. So I know that last week it was hot. But however, we of course we like to kind of like watch things and just make sure that we give our best review, thorough review actually. So we kind of saved this for last. And of course, we wanted to put some pieces together and just kind of go from there. So yeah, that's what we'll be talking about today. I know you guys have seen the interview. That was what was hot last week. So yeah, we'll just hit it off.
Yeah, so if you have not, please watch our most recent video that we just uploaded. We just kind of did a recap on the Falynn interview. So if you watched that interview, let us know. Did you watch it with Up and Adam, a fellow YouTuber here? So pretty much, we'll just give a synopsis about the interview, and then we'll have our own topics on what we thought about the interview. So pretty much Falynn came on Up and Adam, and she pretty much spoke out on what's been going on with the whole divorce situation. A lot of people have been asking her questions as far as, did she know about Porsha and Simon being engaged? Like, did she know about it? And she said she didn't know. She talked about pretty much like the timeline. So Simon filed for divorce initially in December. Then they stopped the divorce. Well, they kind of put the divorce on hold. Then he filed for divorce again in March. And in between there, they were just trying to still figure things out. They were also seeing therapy as well, So they were seeing therapy. They were seeing therapists and stuff. So it wasn't like they weren't seeing, like, somebody to help them reconcile. They were. So they were doing what they were supposed to do. Another thing to be mentioned, she talked about her prenup. She also talked about her time on Real Housewives of Atlanta, how she felt used. She felt like there were some things that she put like in restriction as far as filming in her house, and the she just felt like the producers just took advantage of that. And some other things that she mentioned was being called a racial slur. She said that wasn't shown, but other castmates were aware of what was said. She didn't say it, but there was some talks of who could it be, allegedly, but we're not too sure. But there's some talks. I think we have an idea who said that. And she said that the producers, they liked her at first, but then because of how she pretty much spazzed out on Latoya, how Latoya was talking to her while she was at her house, the producers, they just were not feeling her too much. That was interesting. And another thing that she did mention was that Simon was actually the one that encouraged her to go on the show because he felt like it would be a spiritual test for them, and also for them, and also for Fallon as well. So, all that being said, what are your thoughts about the interview, Lucy?
I thought it was. I thought the interview was like pretty crazy. I mean, no, okay. Let me just be honest. The interview was really good. I think that the interviewer who did the interview, I think he hit it in nails. He really asked the most important questions, and I think that we got to really hear some very enticing details from Fallon, and some things that of course, we didn't know. So let me just pinpoint out, because I think you did cover it all, like some of the interesting things that she did say. Another thing that she did was she kept mentioning was, of course, the kids, like how she's definitely going to miss them. And it's like the kids, it's like now they are acquainted with this woman, basically referring to Porsha. And it's like they're basically starting over again. She also mentioned about planning, like the birthday parties and stuff, how she's going to miss that. And overall, it just seems like she was like blind. I would say she was blindsided, because I know at some point she said that they were together for 5 years, but however, those 5 years they were um on and off. So they really didn't spend that 5 years together, because again, it was on and off. And I think that he proposed twice. And she also mentioned that he was the one that filed for divorce. However, she didn't know about it. Didn't know he filed for divorce. And I think after she, called him, and then she went, I mean, she confronted him about it. She came on live to debunk the rumor, saying they're working on it. And then that's when he put, they eventually came for this one, which was the final one that brought them here. So it just seems like it was definitely some stuff going on behind the scenes, possibly from Simon's side, where like I felt like she was blindsided by him. I'm gonna keep saying that she was definitely blindsided. I felt like she didn't really know who Simon was, because she did kind of put that into perspective. She just said, I didn't know who I was kind of like dealing with. So yeah, it just seems like there wasn't a lot of like Simon was being as honest as he was supposed to be with her. And another thing was that you mentioned that he was the one that advised her to come to the show. So he advised her to come to the show and look, and I don't think that, for me, I don't think she was a fit for the show, because I felt like her personality and just the way she comes off is a little laid back. And it could just be that, maybe she just feels like she's just trying to get like the feel of everything. But just for what I see, I just felt like she wasn't that much of a fit for the show. So for him to push her like that, I just feel like that kind of confirms that he is for like the fame. Maybe he's in this for the fame. He's a socialite, a social butterfly, at least for me, I think. So I feel like that's why he wanted her to be out there.
Okay. I do have some questions, Lucy. I'm so glad that you definitely mentioned about Fallon being a fit for the show. That's been taught. People are saying, okay, she's not a fit, she is a fit. She just doesn't fit, just the show. Now, is it because she just doesn't fit the show or she just doesn't fit the franchise? Because I feel like Fallon, she does fit the show, like what the premises of the show is. She said in the interview that she lived the life of a housewife. She was mostly at home. Simon liked to travel. They had a private jet. She took care of the kids. She was planning birthdays, all of their birthdays. They had birthdays year round. So they were a blended family. Simon was really hands on with the kids. So I do feel like Fallon does fit the S what a house like when you think of a housewife, I do feel like Fallon fits it, like the essence of a housewife. Um, living, but what is behind the closed gates. So I feel like definitely Fallon fits it. Now I do feel like Fallon does not like she doesn't fit the franchise. That's what I feel. I feel like she doesn't fit the franchise, but she fits what being a housewife is like. Yes.
Okay, so I can kind of agree. So what franchise do you think she fits most with? If you don't feel like she fits with that particular franchise.
Okay, so I feel like I don't think that Fallon fits Real Housewives of Atlanta, but she fits a housewife. I think that Fallon fits. She should go more like maybe the Orange County, the Real Housewives of Dallas, or the I feel like she fits the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because I can when I was watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I see her more of like a Dorit, like I do feel like I don't know, she gives me more of the Reed vibe. So although she may not fit Real Housewives of Atlanta, just because she is really laid back, and there's a lot of personalities on Real Housewives of Atlanta, if you really think about it. And you have to think who would mesh well with Fallon. She's super laid back. So I do feel like she fits another housewife franchise, but just not in Atlanta.
Okay, well, I can kind of see where you're coming from when you say like, in terms of where she fits in, whether the franchise or just the show in general. I do think I do have to agree. So I guess I would just take that back and just be specific. I think she does fit a housewife, but not that particular franchise, not the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. I think that, like you said, there's a lot of personalities there, and I think Fallon, like I said earlier, she's so laid back. She's very calm. She's not all about it. I think that some of the franchise I would think that she would fit, like you mentioned, Beverly Hills or Orange County. I think she will definitely fit in with those ladies, not New Jersey, because they also have a lot of personalities there as well. Maybe a little too spicy for maybe a little too spicy and witty for Fallon. So I think over there to the what is this, to the east, is that the west coast? I think that's definitely Fallon. Another thing that I would like to mention is that it just seems that she had, I felt like she wanted to be there, and I also felt like she didn't want to be in that particular franchise, right? Where she felt like maybe she had to defend herself, and like defend herself to maybe some things that weren't true about her. Like for instance, the Latoya, her and Latoya kind of going at it. So I just felt like that too. It was like you said, a lot of characters.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I also need to mention that, yeah, Fallon would not fit well with when it's like New Jersey because they have you think Atlanta has a lot of personality? Those ladies up there, they have a lot of personality, like a lot of personality. So I don't think Fallon would fit that franchise. I probably would see her maybe in the Potomac or so, not New York, because they also have a lot of personality as well. So maybe maybe a like the West Coast franchise. That's more I would see her. So yeah, so I think that she is she lives a life the lifestyle of a housewife, but just she just doesn't fit well with those ladies.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I mean, her lifestyle definitely suits a housewife, but not that particular that particular franchise, I would say. So yeah, I mean, I know she'll definitely fit in somewhere, but not again, not that one. And it's interesting. Now, do you think that she wanted to do this, or do you think that again it was just all like? Do you truly believe it was all Simon who pushed her to do this show?
Okay, so I feel like okay, we're gonna talk about this a little bit more. So I feel like Simon, this is all a plan concocted by Simon. I really do. Because you can tell Simon is a socialite. He likes to be out there. He is worth he has a lot of money. So Simon is a billionaire, a
Now
million.
let's stop there. There is okay. Let's say allegedly he's or just because it's not confirmed. Because a lot of people say people are wealthy, people are this. We don't really truly know how much people make, right? So
Mhm.
let's just because it's a lot. People say it all the time, but I don't know exactly if he's really wealthy as they say that he is. So again, but let me just because I want to say something else. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's just not put the estimate that is out there, but let's just say they're saying that Simon is a wealthy man. He's a businessman. He's Nigerian, so he is. They saying he's really wealthy in Atlanta. So let's also say that because yes, Simon is very wealthy. I mean, he also has to, in order for him to maintain his wealth, he has to have, he wants, has to be some kind of a socialite. And if that means being on the show, I think that he sees, okay, well, his wife, she has the housewife kind of lifestyle. Why don't he encourage her to go on the show? So I do feel like Simon definitely encouraged Fallon to be on the show because one, it's going to benefit him and his business. So I definitely, and he did encourage her. She said it. She said it in the interview. He encouraged her to be on the show. She didn't really want to be on the show, but he encouraged her.
But you know what's interesting? I feel like we were watching the show, right? I feel like a lot of people may possibly felt that he did it. It's like we got that like feel that he didn't want to be like he's a reserved person. He didn't want to be in the limelight. Like remember, like when they would come in, like it just felt like he didn't want to be seen. Like he didn't want her to be on the show, right?
Hmm.
It kind of felt like that, right? It kind of felt like he didn't want her to be on the show. And then another thing, but when they went to the girls trip, he it's funny that he came with her, right?
Hey,
Like he came
yeah,
with her. Yeah, so it's like it's weird. It's interesting. It's like we get the feeling that he didn't want her to be on the show, but then it's like when you look at it, it does kind of seem like he did want her. He was the one that was doing the background work.
yeah, like I mean, he is portraying to the viewers like, oh no, he didn't want, but he knew he wanted to be on the show. Simon wanted to be on the show. Look, he's doing all this little, his little social media around. So Simon wants to be on the show. Don't let all the he's being laid back. No, he wanted to be on the show. And speaking of that, we can get on to our next topic where I feel like the Real Housewives of Atlanta is it season 13 or 14?
Season 14.
Season 14 is going to be the Simon show.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. I think it's definitely going to be the Simon show. Why all of a sudden, or even the Simon and Porsha show, right? Because think about how this season, the past season went. I mean, what is their ratings were pretty low, right? Their ratings were low. I mean, they definitely have to keep it going, right? They have to keep it going so that this, where did this come out? Where did this all of a sudden Simon and Portia are engaged?
Right. Simon and Portia are engaged. Yeah. Hi to be Black Native. Hello, welcome. Thank you. She's saying that Lucy, your voice may be a little bit your voice is fading.
Oh, okay. Hopefully it's better now. Like I was saying that I was having some technical issues earlier, so it could be that. Hopefully, it's better now.
Yeah. I think yeah,
Thank
I guess
you.
we'll see. So yeah, so we were saying that Simon is this season is going to be all about Simon, and Portia, Simon, Portia, Simon, Portia. So I do feel like what a coincidence, right? Like it seemed like everything, like it was like a puzzle, First the divorce, then the engagement, now this. So I definitely feel like this next season is going to be all about Portia and Simon. Now let's talk why we think it's going to be all about Portia and Simon. So I mentioned in the video earlier that I mentioned in the video earlier that Simon. Okay, so if Portia did not have an engagement, is not engaged to Simon, right? What would her storyline be? I really thought I was thinking like, okay, well, what is Portia's storyline going to be if she was not engaged with Simon? Like, what is it going to be? And this storyline, I really do feel like it's going to last for almost 2 years. Let's put in 2 years because the first season, season 14, is going to be about their engagement, how they met, right? So that's probably going to span throughout the whole season. That's going to be their storyline. Now let's think about season 15, right? This is probably going to be maybe then preparing for their marriage. So that's 2 season storyline, for 2 seasons, and she's probably going to get a raise because of this storyline, because people are, I mean, we're talking about it. So people want to know, like, well, what is going on? So this is a 2 season storyline that they have already secured and they have already bagged that deal, like confirmed, right? Because I mean, this is a hot topic, and right, it's been everyone talking about it. So yeah. And another thing to mention is that, so let's say that this is a 2 season storyline that Portia and Simon have bagged and they also have confirmed, right? So this gets me thinking, was this planned? Was this like meditated? Like this was already planned. They kind of had an idea because I'm thinking, I mean, if Portia she's gonna get a lot of money this season, a lot of money, right? I really think she's going to get a lot of money because what else will her storyline be, right? Um,
And not just that, but also for the franchise as well. I mean, because um, who else has a storyline going on? Who else? Let's look at the all who could possibly have a storyline. Kenya, I mean, I think she's faded out right now as far as like the storyline. Candy could possibly have a storyline. I mean, Riley went off to college, and only thing left is now the restaurant, like maybe her and Todd managing the businesses, possibly with her current issue going on with her restaurant, maybe bringing that D up to an A for the health inspection. Seeing how they're doing that, that could possibly be a storyline. Cynthia, I mean, she's married to Mike Hill. She could be talking about being possibly a wife. She could talk about that. Maybe her was as a wife possibly, and how who else do we have that I like? Drew. I mean, Drew could possibly have some things in store. But as far as Portia really didn't have. There's not really much going on for all the ladies. So I think this is actually going to spike, especially for Porsha. At Porsha is definitely going to spike it for her. So
Yeah, Lucy, I think you're cutting up a little bit. So do you want to like just come? Do you want to come back on?
yeah, let me come back. Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much as Lucy has mentioned, well, I mean, let's talk about the supporting cast, right? Because this is going to be the Portia and Simon show. As much as we're just like, oh my gosh, like, Portia, why did you do it? Or Simon, not just Portia, Simon, why did you do it? This is going to be all about Portia and Simon. So if we talk about the supporting cast as in the other castmates, Candy, right? Um, so we have Candy, what's her name? Drew, uh, Cynthia, and Kenya. What is their storyline going to be? Kenya possibly raising Brooklyn, co-parenting, but we've heard that storyline before from Kenya. I feel like it's almost every year. We've heard that storyline, right? Um, Candy, Candy storyline with Candy storyline, raising Ace, raising Riley, raising Blaze. Okay, that could work. But Riley has already gone to college. It can't be about Block anymore because that storyline, they've already settled that situation. Riley's 18, so it's not really, we can't really have that storyline because that's already settled. Riley is getting her money from, her money from Block, which they talked about in the season, how Riley's the one who wants, money from Block. I mean, who else? Cynthia. I feel like we've already sent Cynthia off. She had her happily wedding. Drew, what would Drew be talking about? I mean, Shamia, like what? So it's just like, who is going to be who's what is the main storyline? Simon and Portia. I know, guys. I know some of you guys are, oh my gosh, but let's be honest, it really is going to be their storyline next season. It really, for 2 seasons, because the engagement and also the wedding. So for 2 years, they have a 2-year deal already with Bravo.
Yeah, a 2-year deal with Bravo. For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Oh my goodness. I wonder how the other housewives are receiving this. Like, because it's usually sometimes they usually come out to make comments. Even Kenya hasn't said anything about this. So it's like, having subtweeted. So it's interesting to know whether or not this is going to be something where everyone is in it and it's just like, they're just kind of letting Portia. I mean, because they think about it, she's saving them as like she's saving the show, if you think about it.
Portia is, that's right. She is saving the show because they can't have another season like they had last year, like they really cannot. So I'm just like, what a coincidence. Does Bravo have something to do with this? Like, I know they kind of help create storylines, but do they have something to do with this?
Right. And at first I was thinking like, what if even I mean Dennis, of course, I'm pretty sure he's in this as well. And I'm just going to say I think that there is some there's still some funny things going on in terms of their relationship. I think it's definitely for business. I think so, in my humble opinion. I think that we once we know with our eyes we can tell if you really are observing. You can definitely tell when they take pictures. It looks like they're a little off. It seems like she's just a little far from him. It just seems like they're more cordial than they are of a couple. They're just like cordial, like, okay, we're in business. Like we have to like act like we're, just to kind of save faces. So that's what I think. I think definitely they're they're most friends than they are of a couple. At least that's what they're giving me. They're not giving me couple vibes. They're giving me friends and business vibes.
Okay, right. So for everyone who's in the chat, right? So do you guys think that, and this is just a question that's not been confirmed, do you guys think that this whole relationship, do you guys think that the cast knew about it, the rest of the cast? Do you think it's like a storyline already planned? Do you feel like Bravo has something to do with this? Because it just feels like it's like everything is Simon gets a divorce. Because from Fallon's interview actually revealed a lot, because it revealed that she was, for me, this is what I think. It revealed that she was a little bit blindsided. And this is coming from someone who, did support Porsha, okay? Like, I was one of Porscha's supporters, okay? So before. It seemed like she was blindsided. So what do you guys think? Do you think that, like, they already, like, this storyline was helped by Bravo? This is definitely a 2-year storyline. Do you think that Bravo may have had something to do with it? Because just like Lucy said, this is going to help it's going to help the other cast. So they're not going to just come out and say, oh, well, this is not true, because this is the storyline of the season. So if they're coming out and rebutting this whole Porsha and Simon's engagement, it could ruin the storyline, and it can also ruin the season. And people don't want you to mess with their pockets. So
Exactly. I mean, think about it. It's like a hot topic. Basically, Portia, who I think the scene that everyone remembers is when Fallon had a pool party and Portia came with Tanya and her sister. And it just seems like from there, since they were friends. So it's just like now everyone has this anoma that Portia and Fallon were friends. And now now Portia is engaged to her friend's man. So, hey, that is a great storyline, right? And that brings to my attention. Do you think that Fallon could possibly be a part of this? I mean, not a part of possibly, their little exchange or their little business deal going on. But do you think that she's going to be a part? She's going to come back to the show and possibly have a few episodes here and there, a few scenes here and there, just because they want to, they possibly want to see her reaction or how she goes about it.
yes. Okay. So, hey, Sincere, cracking
Hey,
up.
thank you
Hello.
so much.
Thank you for loving our channel. Thank you.
Please
So
give it a like and thumbs up, and also like, subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
right, like and subscribe. Thank you guys. Okay, so I do feel like, okay, so from Fallon's interview actually reveals a lot. And once again, we are just hearing Fallon's side. Portia hasn't done an interview, and also Simon hasn't done an interview, but Simon has been commenting on social media. So, but we haven't heard his side. So we're just taking, we're just hearing Fallon's side for now. So from what she said is that it seems like Bravo doesn't want her back. That's what she's saying. But I mean, after her first season, it seems like Bravo just does not want her back, and it would be, they would be a fool to not bring her back, because this is their storyline for the season. They're gonna want to get um, her expression and also like her reaction and stuff. But it just seems like they just don't want her back, and I feel like the story would not be fully told without Fallon.
Yeah, it's like it won't be fully completed. There'll be like some missing pieces to it. It's just like one, and even if it was true, right? It's like we're only hearing one side, and that's Portia and Simon's side.
Exactly. So now that we've heard, we talked about the interview, Fallon's interview. We talked about what the storyline is going to be, and also the other lady's storyline. We talked about, could Bravo potentially be a corporate of this storyline? Now, what do you think that Simon has to gain from this? We know that, of course, he's going to get a lot of attention and stuff. Do you think that he's going to get some money out of this?
Most definitely, he's going to get some money out of it. I mean, come on, that's a bag. Like, if, for instance, if he's going to, I mean, the franchise is already hot, right? Like, Real Housewives is already hot. He's definitely going to get some fame from it that he which he already is. In addition, he's going to gain, like, even if it's one or two episodes or like appearances, he's going to be getting some monetary rewards from whatever scenes that he's in, so even if it's just like a drop here and there, or even if it's like an event that he attends, I think he'll definitely be getting something out of this. And he probably, I mean, come on, like, he has, even with Portia's a socialite herself, and he's already getting the fame. He's already, he's out there now. So think about when the show premieres. Like, there will definitely be some. He's definitely going to be leaving with a bag. So
Right. And I don't know, and someone can correct me. Do the house husbands get paid? Does Todd get paid? The house husbands, do they get paid? Like, are they paid from Bravo? I don't think that they are paid. I'm not sure if they actually make money, but there's other ways Simon can make money. I mean, Simon is definitely going to just, showcase his business and also what he does, his restaurants. That's going to attract attention. That's going to make people want to actually go to those restaurants, whether they like Simon or not, just because they see it's free promo.
exactly, exactly. So, and even if, let's say, even if they don't give the house husbands, okay, so Slim too said they're not paid. They aren't paid. Okay, let's say if they aren't paid, right? However, if they aren't paid, I think that, let's say, for Portia and Simon, I think that maybe Simon is going to break bread. I mean, Portia's going to break bread with him. Let's say she, this if he, if he's still participating in this, or what, if whatever they do have is going on is true, then I think that she, it maybe in her deal. Remember, this is a business deal, as me, as we, in my mind, I think it's a business deal. So I think, let's say at the end of the show, whenever she gets paid by Bravo, she's going to give him half or whatever they agreed on.
Okay, so the house husbands, they don't get paid. So you really think Portia's gonna split her money with Simon?
I think that maybe, I mean, if this is, no, seriously, if this is if they are in this together, I think that she's going to possibly give him some, yeah, and based on what they agreed on. Like, if they agreed on that he maybe something else, or in exchange for, I'm just saying, it may be in exchange for other things, then I would think so. I would think so.
Okay.
What do you think?
Um,
Because I that's what I think.
okay. Okay, so Lucy, you may just be breaking up just a little bit. I'm still kind of hearing it, but I don't think it's just a little break. You're breaking up just a little bit. Um, so I do feel like, yes, okay, I have two things to say. I feel like Portia, mm, I do feel like it is a business relationship for sure. Maybe Portia will give him some parts of whatever the contract is, maybe a portion of it, or maybe Simon, just because he is a businessman, he probably has put in some kind of, like, maybe investment in it. Like, okay, they probably made an agreement, like, okay, well, he's gonna collect maybe 10% of it, you know? 10% of it or so, maybe not 50, but 10% or 25% of the contract. Maybe they incorporated some kind of contract where he probably would be making some kind of profit from it backhandedly. And also, he's going to get free promo for his businesses and his restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying, whatever they agreed on. Because they don't have to, it doesn't have to be like 50, like a split 50-50. It could be that maybe he has some other things going on that Porsha possibly, with other business ventures he has, Porsha can get involved. So I think it doesn't have to be a 50-50 thing. It could be other things that, that's of interest, but not necessarily it could be in exchange for something, like maybe business wise. Um, yeah. So, and then also Portia has like, what is it? Is it her show, a little mini show or something coming out, or something in relation with Portia has where she, that's coming out. So I don't know if is Simon going to be on there. So think about that. I mean, this is going to be how everyone will want to watch it. Everyone will really want to know like what exactly happened. Like, all the it's intrigue. It just keeps us intrigued and it keeps us on our feet. And Portia likes to like, entice people. She likes to like troll. So
That I do agree with. So it's just, I think, yeah, I think that this whole thing with Portia and Simon, yeah, I definitely do think it is a business. They're gaining a lot from it. I mean, everyone is talking about it. Like we were talking about it, everyone is talking about it. So it just makes me wonder. Now let's think about the timeline. So we pretty much covered a little bit of everything Fallon said in the interview. Let's think about the timeline. When do you, okay, from their part, they're saying that, okay, from Portia's side, right? She's saying that Simon, wait, her and Simon, she didn't get in between their Simon and Fallon's marriage, right? So let's just take her word for that, quote unquote. Let's just take her word for that. How do you think the timeline started, according to Fallon's interview? Where do you think, like, from the timeline, when do you think that they actually started dating or talking about their relationship, quote unquote?
oh wow. I think that they definitely started. I think that they've possibly been knowing each other. Um, maybe way before. Maybe they came across one another. And then I think that Dennis and Simon are friends. I right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Or they're like business, or they know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, that's why I'm saying this is like, I don't want to say that they knew each other. Like Portia and Simon knew each other for other reasons, or she met him through Dennis, because again, this could possibly be a business deal. So I think, let me just say, maybe let's say if it was for they were truly date in love, then I would say they were probably talking before. They probably, knew each other before. But let's say if it was a business deal, then I would think that there is something that they recently just started, doing. That's what I think.
Okay. I mean, so maybe let's take Portia's word for that. That her and Fallon and Simon were well over each other, and they were, in the process of getting their divorce finalized. So let's take her word for that. Um, and let's just say maybe they did start talking beginning of April or end of March, because they revealed their relationship in on Mother's Day. So that was beginning of May. So let's take Portia's word for that until the season comes out, until we get an official trailer. So I think, are we missing anything else? I think we covered everything from the interview, right?
The majority of the part we did that we did want to like touch up on, that Fallon mentioned, that she touched upon. Yeah. I think it. I mean, I think it definitely explains. But I do wanted to say something. And I could be diving into some, but this was on my mind when I was watching the show. So here we have Simon, who's been in, who he has kids from other. Hold on, just a moment.
Okay. So you're saying about Simon, them being a blended family?
Yeah, like I'm saying that Simon, he had other baby mamas and then or wives. He was married, or at least he has children from other women, right? And he's been in, I would say, plenty of relationships. And here's Fallon, who also has kids from other previous relationships and stuff. Again, they're, like you said, a blended family. And he mentioned that he knows that he needs therapy. And Fallon in an interview mentioned that they were going to counseling and stuff, and sometimes they will also do meditation. But it seems that he knows that he needs the help, right? He needs to go to therapy, but I don't know if he's actually absorbing that therapy that he's getting, or if he's actually getting something out of it, because he seems to always find himself in situations, again, like how he moved on from Fallon and then to now to Porsha. And then I also wanted to say the same thing with Fallon, like, and I'm just I could be I'm play devil's advocate a little bit. Just the same thing with her, like she's also talking about, hopefully she wanted to be a Guobadia'ss. She wanted to, hopefully this relationship with her and Fallon lasts, and it just seems like it's now her and Simon are done, and now she's possibly going to go on to someone else. So I feel like they both definitely need counseling. I mean, we talk about Simon needing counseling, but let's also talk about Fallon possibly needing counseling, right? Possibly needing maybe some time off to really get to understand herself, will really learn herself. And yeah, like everyone else, there's nothing wrong with getting counseling.
Yeah, I love that you just mentioned the whole counseling. They talk a lot about counseling, and Fallon talks a lot about counseling in the interview that she did. And she said that they were going to counseling and they were going to marriage counseling as well. But it's like, are they going to individual counseling? Because Simon says that he said it, he mentioned it. He says that he's always attracted to the same kind of women. And it gets me thinking, well, what are the same kind of women that he is attracted to? Because I mean, Portia and Fallon are, I mean, when it comes to personalities, they're very different, you know? So what are the same kind of women that he is attracted to? Because it's not women that I mean, when you think about Fallon and Portia, and I don't want to count, their how much money they have or so, but Portia has her own money. It's not like she's gonna need Simon's money, you know. So what kind of women is Simon attracted to? He's saying that he's attracted to the same kind of women. So if he has acknowledged that he is attracted to the same kind of women and he keeps making the same mistake over and over and over again, well, Simon, the first thing is he has acknowledged it, you know? He has acknowledged that this, oh, Simon has Simon has acknowledged that this is a problem for him, right? Now it's just like, well, Simon, what are you going to be doing about it? And this is a question for everybody. What can Simon do about this? Like, how can he fix this? If he's constantly finding himself in the same place, almost, let's say, every 2 years or so, what can Simon do about this?
Right. I mean, there's definitely some work that needs to be done. Like that is a good question. What can Simon do? Because it's not just a one. It's not one a one man show, right? It's a group effort, and I think that if Simon definitely wanted to really, help him, address this issue, I think that he will definitely take that counseling. And yeah, and could it be possibly that maybe sometimes the counseling people don't feel like, or is it, I don't know how to really say this, like counseling could be seen as a weak sign, would you say, for maybe for a man like Simon?
I mean, I feel like Simon is definitely he is very in tune with his emotion, because he has acknowledged that he does have a problem when it comes to attracting the same kind of women. But I think that, and I'm just gonna say, I feel like Simon is kind of being a little bit selfish because he has to also remember that it's not just him. His children are going to be affected too because they're always going to be learning somebody new. He still has really young kids, and he has kids, and also seems like the women that he is, associated with also have kids as well. So they're always going to be a blended family. So I definitely do think that Simon really needs to take this. It's not about just like being on the show, but he also has to take it very, very seriously because his kids are also involved. And from what Fallon revealed to us, it really did seem like she had a really good relationship with the kids because she said that she's going to miss tucking them in at night. She's going to miss planning birthdays and stuff with them. So it really does seem like they worked well as a blended family. Now, this is from the outside looking in. So I definitely feel like Simon has to take it very, very seriously.
Yeah, I agree. I really do agree. And that's if he does want to um, work it out. I mean, like, especially his future relationships. I definitely think that that's something that he can definitely look into, is, take care of that. So, another thing that Fallon mentioned was what Simon said. He said Simon doesn't want to be caught. Well, and just correct me. You know where I'm going, right? That quote that Simon made that she mentioned in the interview. Simon only if he wants to be caught.
Hmm.
So what does that give you? Does that like do you like what you were saying? I think that he's definitely in tune with his emotions. He know who he is. He knows the kind of man he is, right? So it's just like, what do you think about that? What were your thoughts?
Okay. So I feel like the quote that she mentioned, and I'm just going to paraphrase. She said, Simon would get caught only if Simon wants to get caught. So that's the quote Simon said to her or whatever when she did address the situation with him, I think. So what I got from it was you can definitely see that Simon is sort of in a way very, very strategic when it comes to certain things, Um like it's like he feels like he is a businessman, but it seems like he also his relationships with the women that he is associated with, he also treats it like a business as well because if Simon gets caught if Simon wants to get caught. So I'm just like, well, was this relationship you had with Fallon, was it like a business kind of relationship, and also the relationship you're having with Porsha, is it like a business relationship? So I'm thinking that Simon has to distinguish when he has to leave work at work and also leave business talk at like don't bring business talk to home.
Exactly. I That was a good point. Like leave business and business and then home. and home, focused on what's going on at home. And then yeah, I totally get it. And then another thing that I mentioned, this is only, like I said, that Falynn was not, like, from my, we both agreed that she wasn't fit for the franchise. Now, she did mention that he loves to travel, right? Simon loved to travel, and she said she didn't like to travel. She said she wasn't really a traveler. So could that possibly be, like, maybe he's like a fun guy? He's out there. He's out in the game. He's wealthy. And he feels like, he wants to live his life, but she's indifferent. She's pretty laid back, reserved. But then you have Porsha here, who's so, Porsha, you can have a good time with Porsha. You can kiki with Porsha. She's a fun time. She's a fun person. So it's like, was he leaving? He was like, okay, I need to just, I need to possibly explore other things. I have this person here. She's a fun person. I think that we'll make a lot of money together. Like, that's how I'm looking at it. And I feel like Falynn is definitely. I would say, in my opinion, that they weren't compatible. Because they were on. She said 5 years. They were on and off, right? On and off 5 years. He proposed twice. So it's like, what was it? I know things go on in relationships. There's things do happen, but it's like, what was it exactly? That was going on. And I felt like she possibly wanted it more than he did, because I remember she said, I wanted to be a Guobadia. And I tried. She said, she mentioned how she tried to make it work. However, it didn't work out. So I feel like you feel like she was definitely trying. Like, what do you think about what I just said about how he's a traveler and she was more like the laid back person? Do you think that they were compatible? Do you think that could have been a factor?
So this is what I think so far from watching, and we're gonna just skip the whole. Let's not get into much about the whole cheating allegations and stuff. So I feel like Simon is actually an introvert at heart. I do definitely feel like he is an introvert at heart, and I feel like, I mean, what's her name? Fallon's also an introvert. So because she doesn't really like to travel and all that kind of stuff, Simon may just feel like, maybe he needs somebody that can complement him being an introvert. So, okay, well, Porsha, well, out of everybody, there's a lot of women who are very extroverted, who like to have a good time. Well, why Porsha? Why a castmate? So I feel like Simon, because they were really getting, like, noticed and stuff from being on Real Housewives of Atlanta, he realized maybe Falynn is not. She is very introverted. She's very she likes to just keep to herself, and he's also an introvert as well. I do feel like Simon is an introvert, because the reason why I say that is because maybe he's in the middle. Maybe he's between an introvert and an extrovert. Like, I feel like if you get to know him, then he's an extrovert, but like he doesn't command a room, like an extrovert, like a true extrovert. I feel like Porsha is an extrovert. She can command a room. And I do feel like Simon realized that this is maybe what he needs, is somebody who can command a room, who is an extrovert, who can get the party started, because they are becoming socialites.
That's a good point. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see what's, yeah, like someone to kind of match him, or like someone to kind of like fix the pieces where there's a gap, maybe that possibly where it's missing, to complement his like where he's maybe lacking, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah. And he's definitely a traveler. Like, he's Yeah, he's definitely a traveler. Like she said, he's definitely a traveler.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
mean
mean, they have.
they have private jet. I mean, they have a private jet and stuff. So he likes to travel. She says she doesn't like to travel so much. So I guess, Portia likes to travel. They can travel with their kids. I guess match made. But still, 2-year business deal that they have going on. But so now let's get back to this Simon. How can Simon fix this? He keeps attracting the same kind of women. How can he fix this? Is this his last stop? Do you think this will be Simon's last stop, or you think he has one more?
It's definitely not Simon's last stop. I don't think, at least for me, since I feel like this is I think that this is not really, this is a business deal. So I think that he's definitely has more exploration. He has more to explore. I don't think this is his last stop. I think he has more to go. Again, I feel like he's not going to stop until he actually puts himself into takes himself into therapy and actually takes it seriously, right? That's when I think that he'll that's when he'll stop. And I think that he's got to a point where he's possibly like, you know what, um, I don't care anymore. I'm at this age where I need to. I have it all. I have the fame. I have the wealth, and I can have the woman, like the woman. I just feel like I don't feel like counseling or any type of help will be useful for me right now.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So you think this is Simon's last stop at finding love,
No, I don't
or
think
you?
he's no, I don't. I think he's going to continue going. Like I said, like yeah, like B Stokes, like yeah, it's a plot. Like I said, it's a plot, and I think this is not his last stop because this is a plot. He has more exploration to do, and not until he gets the help that that he knows that he needs.
Do you
Do you
think?
think?
Oh, you're
You're
like.
like.
Do you think Simon is taking his kids into account because he's like, if he doesn't find, like, if this is not his last stop at finding love, well, what about his kids? Like, because they're going to always be a blended family. Well, why is it? Do you think Simon is also taking his kids into account because he's very like Fallon mentioned, he's a very hands-on dad. From what she explained when it comes to Simon's parenting skills. He likes to travel with his kids and stuff. So is Simon taking being a blended family into account when it comes to him finding love, his true love?
I mean, I would think so, but then I think that this whole blended family is also possibly hurting the kids because it's like from one woman from the other. It's not like there's no stability in a relationship. So he's like possibly used to the kids are probably used to seeing different women, different faces. Yeah, he can be a hands-on dad, but that also has effect on the kids. Blended family, it's like the kids. This could possibly have an effect on the kids that when they grow up, right? Because they're so used to seeing different faces of different women come in and out, or maybe seeing brothers and sisters, and they just come in and out of their life. So I don't feel like he's taking the account of his children, the welfare of his children, because I just think that it's just all for himself. Yeah, he's a hands-on dad, but has he thought about the kids, like maybe the welfare of the kids, off this going on? Because I think his kids are kind of grown. I mean, at least to understand, right? To comprehend a little bit of what's going on.
Yeah, they're certainly at the age where they're going to be, well, what's going on? So they know. I definitely feel like they're definitely of age to like know like what is going on. And I just feel like Simon really, at this point, it's just like he has to really take that statement that he said he continuously attracts it. So he has acknowledged that. Now, Simon, well, what's next? What are you going to do about it? And I do feel like I think that Simon really has to have an in-depth conversation about this on the show. I mean, yes, it's going to be like on the show, but he has to really try to figure that out. So hopefully he we can get a little bit more understanding why Simon is the way that he is.
Yeah, and Juanita says, let me just read one of the chats. Juanita said Simon just loves himself and all the women now and future women. Exactly, Juanita. I agree with you. That's what I was saying to my point, that this is not his last stop. Whether or not if him and Porsha are getting married, or whether or not they're in this for, this is a plot or like a business, then I don't think that he's going to stop until he actually says, I need help. I'm going to go check myself in for therapy and give himself a break. So yes, to your point, I agree.
That's true. That's true. I definitely, yeah, Simon just loves himself. He does love himself a lot. He definitely doesn't love himself. So it's like, well, is Simon capable of putting himself aside and really thinking about, well, I really need to find love. I need to find love. Because I don't think this is Simon's last stop at finding love. So, yeah. Any other thoughts, Lizzie? Do you want to, I think we pretty much covered everything that we want to talk about as far as the Simon and Fallon interview, because I mean Fallon did really give a glimpse of what actually is going on, and we talked about what could potentially happen for season 14, all the potential storyline. Now, I don't think we really went into depth about the potential storyline. We did say that the main storyline is going to be the Simon and Porsha show. Now, okay, now what is going to be the other people's storyline? Because I did say that it can be Kenya, it can be about Mark, because we've heard the storyline. Candy potentially the getting the restaurant grade up. It can't be about Block anymore because Riley's grown and Riley's getting her money from Block. Now, what about the other people? What other people? Drew, right? And potentially Latoya. And I was hearing around that they're probably going to be adding you like light skinned Keisha.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think that's been confirmed. So we'll just put her there. I think that light skin Keisha is definitely good for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I don't know about the housewife. Maybe friend of the show. I'm pretty sure that's what is that. I think that's what she's coming in as, friend of the show, possibly. Now, I would have to say that light skin Keisha would possibly bring some enthusiasm to the show, something that maybe we've been lacking in the past season. Maybe she'll put some spice into it. That's what I think, at least. But however, I don't think that I think that she's suitable for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Okay. Do you think she would be a better friend of the show than to Real Housewives of Atlanta than Latoya was?
I think she will, because watching her from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, I think she will. And if she doesn't come out like how Latoya was and just be herself, I think she will definitely be a good friend of the show.
Yeah, just from watching light skinned Keisha from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, I only from what I got from her, it was like she only came for you if you came for her. And that was like the what the whole was it Akbar or so that was coming for her? Yeah, Akbar. I think that was coming for her on Love and Hip Hop. So she only came for you if you came for her. Right? Honey Bee said that okay, let me just put this on the screen. She said, she seems as if she can be grown and not rowdy, but does give a rowdy. Good. I think, yeah, so she does seem like she can be grown about certain situation, but like Lucy said, she may just be a better fit for Love and Hip Hop. But I think that she would be a better friend to the show than LaToya, because LaToya was a little rowdy. B Silk said, I don't think she'll be a good fit for the show. That same thing. Lucy just said that too. She doesn't think she'll be a good uh, fit for the show, but I think she'll be a better friend to the show than Latoya. I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't know why are they adding continue. Why are they adding a lot of social like YouTubers and social media people?
B said, Real Housewives of Atlanta is just becoming a hodgepodge of random people that would never actually hang out. Exactly, and it didn't used to be that way. Like never used to be that way. I think that Marlo is so far the friend of the show that's been here for quite some time, and Shamia. Let's not forget Shamia. Who else? Tanya disappeared from last season. And then Latoya, I'm not sure if they're gonna be bringing her back, but it just seems like now it's just like they keep putting people in and out, in and out. No one's actually, it's just like they're just getting people, finding people, and they're bringing them in, right? Honey Bee said, does she even have a husband or been married? Okay, so last time I checked, wasn't she she had a boyfriend from Love. What she did, what's his name? Please someone in the chat if you know his name. His name keeps falling me out. I mean, I understand that you're saying he's, because that, Real Housewives, but she does have a significant other though, for sure. I'm not sure if she's married or she has a husband, but she does have someone she was dealing with.
I'm just thinking about the interaction between these people in Kenya. I feel like Candy, she kind of has, like they were saying, she's half niece, half auntie when she wants to be. But you have Kenya and Cynthia, who are aunties. They're aunties. Like on the show, they proclaim them as aunties, and because they're gonna want their respect. So they're not gonna be doing a lot of foo la la with all these people and stuff. So I'm just thinking about what is going to be the interaction between Kenya and people who they're adding to the show. What's the interaction going to be like?
That's a good question, because you know how Kenya is. They could possibly have some aunties and what is this? Aunties and what's that?
Nieces.
And nieces. Yeah, they could possibly have something like that. But do you feel like it's also a way where it's kind of getting a little bit disrespectful, I would say? Where they have like kind of like the people who's been here the longest, they're like the OGs, and now they're just bringing some really fresh faces, like, younger. Or do you feel like the show may be diverting to getting more people who are a little bit younger?
Okay, so I feel like when you said when it comes to disrespect part, I do. Okay, so this is what I feel, and this is like anything like bad or anything. I do feel like either you scrap it and bring in a whole new cast, or you bring in people who have the same, have maybe are like a good like resume as people that are on the show, because Kenya has, she has gained her flowers in the industry. She has she was a pageant winner, and you have Porsha. Although all the situation that she is in, she does have a lot of things going for herself, right? And then you have Cynthia, who is a supermodel. And then you have Candy, who's a business person, right? So it's either you keep the old cast or you bring in people who have been in the industry for a while, and bring in people who maybe are like movers and shakers in Atlanta, right? So, yes, it'll be definitely a good opportunity for other other people who are in social media who are in maybe social media and YouTube and also in the music industry and stuff. It'll definitely be a good look, right? But I do feel like it is kind of being a little bit disrespectful for the OGs who have paid their dues. You want them to intermingle with people who they probably wouldn't even hang out. Like they don't cross the same path, right? In the same friend group.
Exactly. And the dynamic is going to be somehow, right? Like we're all sitting and let's say if they go to one of their powwows or there's some of their girls trip and it's going to the dynamic is going to definitely be off. So I was like, either you interphase that or you just bring the friends of the show who are in that particular age group or that particular that will fit the dynamic of the show.
So it looks like Honeybee said, okay, so they do have a YouTube channel, Coca Venga. So they're on YouTube. So it looks like they are married, or she has a boyfriend, so they are together. But I think that they just need to bring somebody else on the show because because it has to be authentic. Like the friendships has to be authentic. And I've never seen, maybe Lysine, Keisha, and Latoya probably have hung out, but I've never seen Porsha and Lysine, Keisha hang out, or Kenya. So how would she be introduced to the show? Who would she be a friend of? Because everything has to be authentic. Like it has to seem authentic.
Exactly. It could possibly be that then they shouldn't just bring her to the show because I don't think they're understanding that it needs to be authentic because we don't kind of want like the what Latoya situation to repeat itself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I mean,
not saying that she's going to have antics like Latoya and stuff. I'm not gonna, but it's just like, is it going to be authentic? Because it's like, are the girls really going to be hanging out? So it's just kind of, I just feel like either, I mean, Drew, outside of what Drew was doing, she has paid her flight. She has her little notability when it comes to the acting industry. So I feel like when they brought in Drew, we're like, okay, that makes sense. But yeah. Hold on. Okay, so okay, right. I do feel like, yes, either they have to phase out the OGs, right? They either have to phase them out, like, make them friends of the show and make Real Housewives of Atlanta appear to the younger generation. Definitely do that. Or you can't just start bringing one person at a time, one person each season. Either bring maybe two or three, or just or just phase out the OGs completely. And yes, I do feel, because Atlanta, there yeah, they definitely do need more people because there are a lot of showstoppers in Atlanta, and movers and shakers, especially young people in Atlanta who are doing really, really good things. But it's like it has to definitely be authentic when it comes to them introducing the cast, like the friend of the show. Like who would introduce light skin Keisha to the show? Like, oh, this is who she hangs out with.
Yeah, I agree. I think that again, if they don't want the show to phase out, this would definitely be a good, possibly a good look. Again, to possibly phase that and bring some more younger to kind of maybe connect with, and then also this is where it comes to play, right? They need to look at their ratings and maybe do some algorithm, like look at their what is like their the viewers who are watching, their audience, right? And look at the general, like, look at the age group who are actually watching. And possibly it could be, I mean, not that I'm saying that they need to phase it out completely, but maybe do it where it could be advantage and an advantage for all of them, right? Like a mixture. We can have like the nieces, and we can also have the aunties, but however, there has to be an authentic sort of love there, the authentic relationship that comes from there. So
Okay,
okay,
so let
so
me
let
ask you guys this, right? Now, if we are definitely, because we want them to bring young people, right? But don't they have, isn't there like a specific demographic they have to fit? Like when you think about housewives, like they will have to bring young people who are that live the lifestyle of a housewife. What do you guys think about that? If they're going to bring young people, do you guys think that they should definitely bring young that actually fits the mold of the show?
you're actually right. So now that you mentioned it, I really do think that starting young is actually a great idea because then they'll build on, right? They'll build on from the show. And then, we kind of also build our relationship with them as well with the housewives. We kind of get to know them, as they're moving along and thriving with their family within the show, right? Kind of like we're also building a bond with the housewives because we're actually
Hmm.
seeing them grow.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You
You
guys
guys,
know. um, So I was thinking, right? Okay. So Portia, because Portia, when she came in, she was young, but she lived the lifestyle of a housewife, right? She had, of course, Cordell. They were wealthy. They had money, right? So I'm like, maybe they should bring on, just call over, what's her name from Bell Collective, because she's doing her thing, but she still kind of has, they're very wealthy and they have the lifestyle of the Southern kind of housewife vibe. What's her name? Ooh, Latrice from
from
Bell
Bell
Collective.
Collective.
They
They
may just
may
need
just
to
need to
call
call
her
her up.
up.
I really think that would definitely. I would definitely think Latrice because she has her own business. Like she is very business savvy. She is married. I really do think so. That would be a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I'm just like, bravo. If you guys want somebody, a new cast member, I nominated Latrice because the reason why, she gives me a lot like a younger Portia, right? But still, Latrice is very business savvy. And if you guys don't watch Bell Collectives, it's on OWN, and there's a castmate named Latrice. She's like a Southern Belle. She has her own business. She has a lot, hairline things going for herself because she's married to an older man. But Latrice is still very young. She appeals to the younger audience, but she's still very youthful, but she still has a very mature vibe to her, a mature essence to her. So I just feel like they just may have to bring in Latrice from Real Housewives, I mean, from Bell Collectives.
Yeah, I agree. I really do agree. I think that she'll definitely make the show. Um, and I think that her and Portia will definitely bond and vibe. And I think we'll definitely get hopefully some genuine relationships, right? Maybe there'll be some genuine relationships within there.
Because I mean, Latrice, she dresses nice. She's very pretty. Her hair's always like looks very. She's very well put together, right? And her house is really nice, big house and everything. I'm just like, when I think of Southern, she has a Southern Belle kind of essence to her and a housewives essence. So I was like, just bring on Latrice, like Latrice, move to Atlanta and come on Real Housewives. Or somebody in Atlanta similar to Latrice.
I can't really think of anyone that comes in mind. Like, um, anyone in Atlanta, that would fit with. I agree. Shoot, they could have. Okay, so Honey B says, I agree. Shoot, they could have gotten Melanie from Love and Marriage Huntsville or someone else. Leave light skin Keisha where she's at. Sin, what do you think?
Okay. Melanie Melanie does live in Atlanta. Well, I think she commutes between Atlanta. But I just feel like Melanie is great in Love and Marriage Huntsville. I know she wants to venture on, but it's just like, well, who would like Melanie's storyline works with Love and Marriage Huntsville? Like I would Melanie is kind of the show. Like she is the show. When I think of Love and Marriage Huntsville, I think of Melanie, or somebody like a Melanie Holt. Because you guys remember Melanie? She was, I mean, the Melanie Holt, like business savvy, very, spoke her mind, always went with her guts, a very like a southern, she was like a southern a southern belle, So I'm just like they need to bring in someone maybe like a Melanie Holt. Like that nobody really knows about, but maybe people in the community knows about. But then again, Atlanta is changing. Atlanta's a lot about music, a lot about social media. So it's definitely changing. So I think they definitely have to bring in someone that can appeal to the vibe, like Atlanta vibe, Atlanta scenery. Yeah. But I think that is it. Do we want to take a callers and just like everyone give their opinions? Because I feel like we gave our opinion for almost 1 hour and a half. So you want to take some callers, Lucy?
We can definitely take some calls. If anyone wants to call in, please do. We do ask that you are respectful to everyone's opinions. And also, if you are coming on through video, we do ask that you show your face, right, Sen? And yeah, and just call in. We do want to hear from you. Definitely want to hear from you on your thoughts about this or anything else that we just mentioned. And there's the link is actually dropped. Send drop the link below. So if you want to call in, please do. Or if you want to also keep the chat going, then that's fine as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I'm thinking about light skin Keisha, I don't know. I'm just like, no, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it. I just feel like when I think, because she's into music, and so I just feel like, yeah, Love and Hip Hop, because Love and Hip Hop is a music kind of, it centers around music, right? Yeah. But yeah, I definitely think someone like a Latrice, but it makes me like wonder who's in Atlanta that can come on and join. What about Jennifer Williams? Jennifer Williams lives in Atlanta. Now, you guys know she was on Basketball Wives. What about a Jennifer Williams? Would you
Would she
guys?
be friend of the show? Yeah. Now, let's say if she was like, let's say previously, I think that she would have definitely fit the scenario of a housewife. But I would say definitely think a friend of the show. But isn't she friends with? Is it Nene? I think she's friends with Nene.
She's definitely friends with Nene. She's definitely good friends with Nene. But I'm just like, sometimes, like if you take people out of like maybe the original shows they were in, maybe you'll see them in different environment, different friend group. So see how they will like interact. So I'm thinking, okay, what about Jennifer Williams? But then that's still like, she would, I don't know if she would appeal to the 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 younger generation. So I'm just like, okay, well, Jennifer Williams, she lives in Atlanta. Who else? Like, who else would be a good fit? You know, who else would be a good fit? I'm thinking, well, what about Rachel from The Bachelor? Rachel Lindsay. You know, she's a housewife. She likes a show. She was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy. What about Rachel? Hmm. Or Tammy? No, Tammy lives in Houston.
Yeah, it's a. I don't know. I feel like there's definitely some potentials, but again, uh, it could be a hit or miss. Yeah, see, it doesn't look like we have anyone calling in. So I think we're going to, because I think we've definitely got our main points across. Just to kind of we gave our points and what we thought about the interview with Falynn Guobadia'ss, and we kind of talked about the moving, like what would be moving away from this with Simon and Porsha. What would the Real House of Wife of Atlanta season 14 look like as far as like the story, the plots, and the storylines? So we kind of really hit our main points and what we really wanted to talk about, right? So yeah, and we kind of went off topic, like talked about other things. So I think we've covered everything, right, Sin? Yeah, I think we've covered a majority of things that we wanted to cover. So yeah, I think we're gonna definitely end it here. Again, thank you guys so much again for your love and support. We really appreciate it. Again, thank you guys for coming, dropping by, just watching and kind of interacting with us. Again, like we said, we're gonna continue to do this because we definitely like the engagement that we do have with you all. And we just want to keep this as we just want to keep this very neutral as far as like really have some really deep discussions and try to get some understanding elsewhere. So that's kind of like what this is all about. All right, so you have anything else to add?
Um, That's about it. I feel like we definitely got all of our points across. And if you have not, if you just maybe came in or came in a little bit later, definitely watch from the beginning because we did go into depth about Fallon's interview. Also, what's next with the show um, of Simon and Portia. We definitely went into depth, and we also broke down, well, is Simon able to, like, will he find love again? Like, is this a last stop? So we talked a lot into depth about that. So I think that is about it for this video. We definitely wanted to get this Fallon, talk a little bit more about this Fallon interview. And also, we really appreciate you guys for tuning in, those interacting in chat. We really, really appreciate it. We will have a little bit more things this week. I don't know if some of you all watch Big Brothers Nigeria. They're going to be having a reunion. So if you do watch the show or so, we will be doing a review on the reunion. So if that's something that you are interested in, please stay tuned. We don't have any other updates when it comes to any like all about the tea or anything else. So no, we don't have any updates about that. But just please stay tuned. And we also are going to be doing a little giveaway for reaching 1,000 subscribers. And we're going to announce it definitely in the later on in the week for sure. So please stay tuned for that. We really appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much. All right, thank you guys so much. We're going to go ahead and end this here. Make sure you like and you subscribe. Thank you all. Peace, love, and blessings.